Yeah, man. I got the Wolfjackal in the house, A.K.A. Flip Rollins. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta bring the mic a little closer, I think, so we can hear you. You hear yourself?
There you go. Try now.
Now I can hear him. All right. So I might be looking at my phone a couple times because I write my questions down like that, you
Right,
know.
right,
So
right, right.
so I notice every time we kick it or we get together, we do music. You bring big Texas vibes, big Texas vibes. So I want to start this conversation off by you know, asking you so are you from Texas? Like, are your original roots from Texas, or like, what's your
Yeah,
background like
yeah.
that? What's
I grew up in northwest side of Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas,
Yeah, yeah. Carriage Land.
Carriage Land?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about the background and your lingo, where that come from, how how that came about, your heritage, the type of food you eat, the type of lingo, the clothes, the what's Texas like? What is that like for you growing up out there? Because I'm not from there, so I want to. And every time I kick with you, we got big Texas vibe. So
Right,
I
right.
want to get a little more deep into
It's a
like your
lot. Well,
roots.
in Texas, in Houston particularly, uh, it was like low riders, swangers and shit. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? Motherfuckers with the Cadillacs and
Pimp C shit.
you know what I'm saying on Vogues and goddamn spinners that
No
stick
spinning with
out
the
and
stick
shit.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Motherfuckers had the long horns on the front of their goddamn
So you grew
shits.
up around that type of
Oh
shit.
yeah, oh yeah. I used
I
to
mean,
make
I've seen them music videos, but I never seen it.
I
I
used
in
to make I
person,
used to
person.
make the model cars and shit that hop and shit like that.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Uh, so growing up in Houston, it was like shit was a little bit different. You know, it's a little bit slower paced than out here.
Mm,
You know, but I grew up with like the ghetto boys and shit.
mm.
Ghetto boys, motherfucking Pimp C, Screwed Up Click,
I mean, like,
DJ Screw. Rest in peace, DJ Screw.
so was you born out there?
Yeah, I was born in Hurricane Alicia.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that so how when did you come down to Ontario, California? Like when did you make that travel back up this way?
I migrated to Cali in what was it? 97.
97.
97.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
But I like my fam was always out here, so my mama from Cali. My pops from Shreveport, Louisiana.
Mm.
So we would come out here for like vacation and family reunions and shit like that. And my thing was I like the palm trees. We ain't got
Yeah,
palm trees
Cali. Yeah,
down there. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
nigga,
yeah.
y'all niggas got palm trees out here. This shit fly. So I was like, fuck it.
I could tell like you really like you're a real Texan because I remember the other day was chilling at Big J's house
Yeah.
and homeboy came in with the hat and the belt and the shoes. And I was like, and you was like, I gotta ask him. I gotta see
Oh
what
yeah.
he's
Look,
about. I
I
got to.
knew I knew he wasn't a real Texan
You get to my
from
point
his
too.
from his shirt.
Man, you skipping. Like, I was gonna say, this is exactly the conversation you had. I'm
We
like,
usually wear, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? He had a 10-gallon cowboy hat on. He had
He
his
had the whole
goddamn
look. He had the whole
belt
attire.
buckle, his motherfucking
And
boots and
yeah, I was
shit.
like,
I'm
hey,
like,
Flip.
okay.
I was like, Flip, you think he from
I'm digging it,
Texas?
but I'm like, nah, he ain't
He's
from
like, nah.
Texas.
I said, how you know? He said, the shirt.
The shirt gave it away.
And then we asked him, and he
The
wasn't.
shirt gave it away.
But
Yeah,
he had
yeah,
the
yeah.
whole demeanor and the look. And he
Oh
was like,
God, hey, look, he was trying. I ain't look
if you didn't know, nobody would know.
right. Well,
He could have fooled us.
that part, but he can't fool a real Texan.
Mm.
But I grew up with I used to chase horses and shit.
I believe you.
Yeah, I used to run through the goddamn fields chasing horses and shit.
Man, so my next question, you had this song on YouTube called Afghanadino.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. That was one. That was
so
one.
and that Afghanadino is like people don't know it's like a war zone, basically saying San Bernardino's a war zone. So do you have any roots in San Bernardino as well?
Well, I used to be from a club,
Mm-hmm.
little motorcycle
Yeah, we're
club
gonna get into that.
out
That's
there,
actually in there too. Okay, so
and
that's where that club is from.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, because I was wondering, so because we going from Texas, now we in Ontario, then now hear your song Afghanadino. I'm like, so I'm trying to put all this together, like, so because now when you did that song, I just thought automatically like I'll make use of San Bernardino
Well,
type
I
of
just
nigga.
had to put on for my people from out there and
Right.
shit. You know what I'm saying?
So that
Like,
song is really a biker song.
Kind of. You know what I'm saying? It's more of like a documentary.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a I would call it a how do you say yeah, it's like a what is it called? Fuck. Like a documentary. You know what I'm saying? Like a documentation. It's like some journalism
Yeah.
type
Okay.
shit.
I just like
Because it's really like that out there.
Yeah, that's why I was saying to the listeners,
Yeah.
Afghanadino is like, if you know San Bernardino, it's like it's like a war zone out there too.
You
So it
really
makes sense
gotta,
for
you
that.
know what I'm
That the
saying,
title
watch yourself
fits.
when
The
you out
title
there.
fits.
Yeah.
I like that song, by the way. You guys should check it out. I like that
Yeah,
song.
that was one of them ones.
Okay. Next question I was gonna get into, if we could ask, what was the name of that biker crew you was riding with?
Oh, I can't confirm or deny.
Okay, I didn't think you could, but I was gonna say, hey,
Yeah.
and how did you get into riding motorcycles and stuff like that?
Okay.
How did you get into that type of lifestyle?
Well, when I went to prison and shit, I was locked up, and my cellie was from East Palo Alto.
Mm.
He used to ride them hogs and shit, and I used to always ask him like, man, what's the science behind that? Like, how do you? You know what I'm saying? I used to ask him shit like, when you going into a turn, like, do you downshift or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I used to get real detailed with the shit. And he basically told me, he was like, you got to test the waters, figure it out on your own.
What kind of credentials would one need to be into like a club like that?
Well, first off, you got to be a real motherfucker.
Right.
You got to be down and, you know what I'm saying, take risks and shit that most people won't.
Mm.
You got to, you know what I'm saying, you got to enjoy living life on the edge. If you don't like living life on the edge, it ain't for you.
Right.
It ain't for you.
And then another thing I noticed about, like, especially like with biker clubs, like for instance in Pomona we got the Black Knights. I noticed that they're more organized as far as like when they throw events and stuff. Nobody's out there fighting. They don't allow trouble to go on in their establishment. Like nobody's out there fighting or doing nothing in around them.
Right.
They don't allow that stuff. That's one thing I did to take from that. They're organized to where you're not gonna go into an event and just get to fighting and throwing bottles and all that.
When you're dealing with a 1% club, like it's usually organized like that. It's usually motherfuckers got to adhere to the rules and regulations, or else there's disciplinary actions. And
Yeah, I just noticed. I always like that about their characteristics. I always like that part. Like I remember, someone people was trying to turn up and then they was like, "Nah, we not doing that here." And they was, they more so bringing peace more than violence.
Right.
But outside of that, it's like, we can't help you. But inside of this, where all these people's here having a good time, you're not fucking up our money.
Exactly.
We are in our good time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just always took that as like, yo. My next question would be, so do you have any crazy stories that you could tell us about without without legend stories maybe without getting no one in trouble?
Shit.
Just a couple, wild stories.
Tell you some wild
Okay.
shit. First off, this is a wild story right here. So I'm leaving an event,
Right.
motorcycle event and shit. I'm headed to Pomona. I get on McKinley and White. I'm headed to Union Park. Doing my little shit, adhering to the laws and shit. This lady, she ran a red light. She was texting and driving.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming across my intersection. My light was green, and next thing I know, my peripheral, like my spider senses go off, and by the time I can get my head around, boom, I'm already getting hit.
Mm.
She hit me at about 55 miles an hour.
Damn.
So I was going to Ninja Park. I landed in the park. My leg came off. I gotta respect the work because I still got the shoe I had on. My leg came off. That motherfucker was like sliced clean. Like it looked like it was surgically done.
Wow.
But yeah, I flew 15 feet vertically and 40 feet horizontally. And I landed in the goddamn park. So I made it to my destination, just not all in one piece. So they bring the They first off, they didn't have a trauma center in Pomona before then.
Hmm.
So
That's before. Now they have the. You talking about where they bring the helicopter and landing? Yeah,
they
they just
took me
made
to
that a couple
Pomona
years
High.
ago. Mm.
I went to Pomona High, and they took me to Pomona High in the ambulance. The helicopter landed in the football field. They put me in the helicopter on the gurney and shit. Like, all right, if you know anything about gurneys and shit, like they made for average sized people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like damn near 6'3",
Right.
so I'm longer than the gurney.
Yeah.
They put the gurney in the helicopter, and the dude is like, the door won't shut all the way,
Mm.
so he's holding the door closed with his hand, and we going up in the sky and shit.
So your legs are sticking out, or your
Nah,
body? Not your legs, but your head.
I can see my head is right
Yeah.
here, and I can
Okay.
see, like, I can feel the wind and shit. And I'm thinking to myself, well, shit. If the motherfucking accident didn't kill me, I'm for damn sure gonna fall out this fucking helicopter.
That's crazy work.
But yeah, so uh, that was what, 2016.
Yeah, I actually had that written down for a question, but you went straight to it.
Yeah, it
So,
was May 21st, 2016. That was my first death day.
and I know the last thing on your mind is after you're escaping nearly a death experience. The last thing
Right.
on your mind is being compensated or anything like that. But what did you get any compensation of or
Well, the way
anything?
California law works, the limited amount of liability you have to have is $15,000 insurance.
Uh huh.
So the hospital got 5,000. My lawyer got 5,000. I got 5,000.
Wow. So you only got $5,000
I got
for your
$5,000
and lost your leg.
lost my leg. If I'd have passed away and not came back, that's all my family would have got.
Wow, that's not cool.
Yeah,
We gotta fix that.
I mean, it is what it is. You can't, you know what I'm saying? Some shit you can't change. You just gotta, rock with it.
Let me ask you, Flip, what's the healing process like that? The mental healing process, the pain, going through something like that. What's the like? What is that? First of all, what was the pain like? Was there adrenaline going? What kind of pain did you feel when you went through that?
It was the pain. Okay, so the pain was like, it was wild. Like, really imagine somebody just ripping one of your limbs off, like, manually, just with force.
Well, I couldn't know. I couldn't even imagine what that feels. I get a muscle spasm and I'm in pain, so
All
I
right,
don't.
all
Yeah.
right. Well, tantamount to that, but about 1,000 times more
Wow.
intense. So, initially, like, I just started praying and shit. Started praying, and when when I finally, like, I lost consciousness, I end up I ended up I ended up going to the you know
The shock or
no,
the
like,
upper room.
damn near,
You seen the
like,
light?
I was in God's waiting room.
Mm.
We was having a conversation. He told me, he was like, if you let go right now, all the pain will go away. But if you don't, you have to live with pain for the rest of your life.
Mm.
But at least you'll be there for your kids.
Mm.
So I chose to be here for my kids.
Wow.
And I ain't gonna lie, every day is painful, but life is full of pain. No matter what you go through, no matter what you got to deal with. Like, fuck, Robin Williams committed suicide. So
Mm.
you gotta. It's all relative. It's all in perspective. Like, you know,
I
you
mean,
got to be mentally strong.
does it for someone who goes through something like that? How does it affect their everyday living? Like when I kick with you, like I damn near feel like you never lost your leg because you're so
Yeah,
motivated, you're so
yeah.
turned up, you're energized, and
Right.
such a fun person to be around. And you live every day like that shit never happened. But for someone who's not like you, what's the everyday living process like going through something like that? Like,
I mean, I could very well be like everybody else to go through this shit and end up crashing the fuck out and
mm-hmm.
don't succeed. But I choose not to. I lost my mom when I was 12 years old. So I seen worse. I seen worse, bro. Like it's 90% how you deal with this shit.
Mm.
It's only 10% what you got to go through.
Right.
So the mind controls the body. If you're able to mentally put steel yourself, put some tungsten in your spine, you'd be all right,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But for a lot of people, they can't take it.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
can't take it.
I feel like that healing process, as far as like, uh, getting into the everyday lifestyle, relationship, playing with your kids, going to places, doing even you like being a musician,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
You know what though? What really when I realized that that was what I was gonna do it for the rest of my life. The first thing the only thing I was really upset about was like that I would never be able to play basketball like I used to.
Oh man,
Like that's what really fucked me up. I'm like, damn dog, I used to jump from damn near the free throw line.
man, that is true.
Them days are up.
Yeah.
So it's time to shift focus.
Hmm.
But then I got shot 5 times after that.
That's
Oh
crazy, man.
man. You know.
And I hate to bring up I was just about to say that on my question. I
Yeah.
hate to bring up another crazy situation because I'll never use my platform to speak negativity or to
Right, right,
bring
right,
or to
right.
get views or none of that stuff. But I mean, it happened to you, so yeah. So the time you got shot, can you explain what happened with that?
Well, it ain't too much I can
I
really
mean,
say about
I
that,
and then I was gonna say,
But I can tell you this, it was a situation where I was, chilling, whatever. We was hanging out and shit, and next thing you know, motherfuckers pulled up and it was just on.
hmm,
And,
where'd you get shot at?
I had a bullet hole through the halo of my Angels hat I had on.
Hmm.
Uh, I got grazed my back a few times, but the one that did me in went through my shoulder.
Hmm.
That some bitch took out a bunch of my ribs, took out my lung, took out part of my intestines, spleen, liver.
So, so you had to go through surgical stuff. Or you had to get surgery and stuff.
They did they did 3 different surgeries on me.
Hmm.
First surgery, they like, I don't know, like he might not pull through. They sent me back in for another one. They like shit. I mean, this is best we can do. He'll have a shit bag or whatever.
Hmm.
But then the woman I was with at the time, she was like, nah, he ain't gonna be able to live like that. So thank God for her because she sent me back in one more time and they got everything straight. So now I got I got metal ribs. I got metal ribs. I got, you know what I'm saying, one lung now. Uh, you know, fucking metal leg. I'm damn near a robot, bro. I'm 1/3 cowboy, 1/3 robot, and 1/3 wolf.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Ow,
ow.
ow.
Hey. So, um, let's get into that. On the flip side of that, I personally like your Caribbean style, and a lot of choices of music and music that you do, especially your hardcore bar rap and hip hop is. But I noticed you take a lot of a liking to the heavy metal type music. Where did that influence come from?
Let's see. I grew up. Well, I've always been. I had a Fisher Price turntable when I was little, and my dad had all kind of albums. Michael Jackson, the fucking Tears for Fears, Depeche Mode, and shit like that. So I used to take his albums when he wasn't home and shit, and just play everything and like not even listen to fucking classical, like
Yeah.
everything. But I gravitated towards metal and rock and shit because it was raw,
Mm.
raw. I love hip hop. Don't get me wrong.
No,
Hip
yeah, no,
hip
definitely.
hop is raw too, but metal and rocks they were more they were more. How do I say? They were more inclined to speak to those that were on the how do you say they got the short end of the stick. They were inclined
Hmm.
to
The others.
yeah, the others. You know what I'm saying? I used to listen to the Ramones and shit, punk. I love punk rock because them motherfuckers didn't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like straight up, they
Straight
out
up.
there, you know what I'm saying, drinking, smoking, spitting beer on the fans, fucking kicking people in the face like mosh pits and shit like that. I used to go to Warp Tour. My oldest daughter was little. I remember one time I was in the if anybody knows about a band called Acacia Strain, those motherfuckers go ham. But they had a mosh pit. It was at Warp Tour. They did the Wall of Death and all that shit. I had my daughter on my shoulders, right? She was little. I had her on my shoulders, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the mosh pit, fucking spitting, kicking motherfuckers and shit. Like,
So you was actually doing that.
oh yeah, I get in the mosh pit.
Uh,
I get in the mosh. I love heavy metal. I love the whole. You know what I'm saying? Like the guitar solos, the double bass, the double drum shit, all that shit. It speaks to me.
hmm. So so the business you started with you and your dad, Big Phil. When did you guys start that business? And
Sheesh.
can you tell the people the name of that business and what does that business consist of?
Nah, I can't tell you the name of it, but I just put it like this: it's a landscaping irrigation company. You
Mm-hmm.
know, uh, that's why I say I got it out the mud.
Yeah.
I literally got it out the mud. I was literally in the trenches, but I was 6 years old when we started the business.
Right.
It was in '89.
Hmm.
Yeah, we started with a Honda Accord, our lawnmower and weed eater, and and a trailer from U-Haul, and we built up customers and shit. Excuse me. We built up customers and shit, regular customers, and by the time we left Houston in '97, uh, my dad he sold a piece of paper with just a list, names, customers, addresses, and phone numbers. He sold it to our biggest competition for $15,000
Hmm.
in '97. Sold our business. We came out here and we started all over again.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah.
So what kind of as far as finding like your consumers or customers, and how do you guys market it, or how do you guys find your um the people that wants to utilize your
Well,
services?
everybody needs our services. We do like we've done. One of our best customers is Brad Pitt's one of Brad Pitt's lawyer.
Wow.
He lives in Brentwood. Uh, he calling us all the time. But we do high profile people,
Okay.
high profile customers and shit. You know, I'm not finna come to your house if you only spending $1,000. Like that's not finna help
Right.
me.
No,
Yeah.
he spent out of two people. Ain't
Right, right,
come
right.
on.
Exactly. But
Ja-
yeah,
uh,
it's pretty established. It's pretty, business is good. It's ups and downs. It's just like any self-employed type situation.
Um. Well, let's see. Since since we speaking on the rock tip, I was gonna ask you what are your top five rock bands, and after that, I was gonna ask you your top five hip hop artists. So we can start.
See, top five rock
Top five
bands.
rock bands off the top of your head, like with that who flip listen
I
to,
would have to say,
or if they call it rock band, heavy metal, is it the same? Is it
yeah,
different?
no, it's
Uh,
you
uh,
can just sum it up like that.
okay, for sure.
I have to say, Amity Affliction,
Hmm.
uh, Motionless in White, Movements, uh, Metallica,
No, I knew
yeah,
that was coming.
and fucking Black Sabbath.
Yeah, I knew that
Yeah,
was coming.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Top five. No particular order. Hip hop artists.
Top five, I have to say, the RZA, Wu Tang, Wu Tang. How about 3 6 Mafia?
Mm, that's a different one. I didn't think. Oh,
Uh huh.
the Texas
Uh huh.
does. Other shit.
Methadone. How about I fuck with Dr. Dre though. I really fuck with Dr. Dre. Like he did a lot of shit.
Yeah, 2000s was
Yeah, yeah,
2000s was
yeah,
hot for us. Like
yeah,
for me, especially growing up,
yeah.
The Chronic was yeah.
And corrupt.
Wow.
Corrupt. Like lyrically, he was the first one out there really just doing that tongue twisting type shit. I used to when I lived in East Side, Little Bottoms with my grandma and shit. Like I remember they used to be what was that? What was that show? Get but like every weekend, like they used to have like a hip hop show on like what was 92.3 The Beat, like they do underground hip hop and shit. And
106 in the Park.
no, hell no, no radio.
Oh, it was
So
radio.
I used to get the motherfucking little cassette. You know what I'm saying? I'd take any cassette, put the little shits in the top of it,
Uh-huh.
and then record
Record
off
it.
the
Yeah.
yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay. So obviously I don't expect every guest on my show to listen to my music, but seeing that you are my friend, what's your top two Arion songs?
Number one
Uh-huh.
is Hello.
Hello. Yeah, you always
At
play that.
number one.
Okay.
Number two is gonna have to be Shrooms. What is it? Shrooms and
Shrooms and Dabs.
Shrooms and Dabs, bro.
Hey, don't ain't that saying even know? Yeah, hold on.
Oh shit.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Then
That my shit though.
so I'm gonna give you my two favorite of yours.
Okay.
Obviously the first song I did with you, Amped Up. So that's one of my favorites because of my first flip feature.
Yeah.
And then I fuck with Clark Gable.
Okay.
That's one of my, and I've been looking for that song.
I had to take it down.
You took it
like,
down?
Yeah, I took it
Clark
down.
Gable, man. We gotta get that back
You know
up.
what I mean? Like, man, motherfuckers was mad. Like you told the whole story and shit. Goddamn, nigga. I gotta wait for the statute of limitations up before I can put that back out.
Well, so speaking of working on new projects, you working on one right now.
Yeah, it's actually finished.
Oh, it's finished? I was
It's
going to
finished.
ask you, when is it going to be done?
It's finished.
And then, what's the name of that one?
It's Onyx Sonic.
Onyx Sonic.
Yeah.
So why do you feel like this project is going to be different from your other ones? Like, what's different about this one?
This one embodies a lot more. This is a lot more. It was the process was more painful. Process was more painful, and pain makes good music.
Yes, it does.
Motherfuckers want to hear shit they can relate to. So in this one, I delve into like what I'm saying, the ins and outs of relationships, mental anguish, and what I'm saying, like street shit and shit that's like shit people can relate to. Motherfuckers that actually been through some shit.
I feel like the music I've been doing lately, I could relate with you saying because it's just more. It's because I've been through so many events now. I can explain like a little bit better what I've been going through, and I can deliver it better.
Right.
So I feel like that's how your music is sounding right now too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
big facts.
yeah,
Much appreciation, fam.
yeah. I can't wait to finish that one up with you so that people can hear that one. So we both have a mutual friend. King Arnez, 2 A's,
2 A's,
Mr. Top 40.
And my boy right there.
How did you guys meet each other?
I actually met him in what? Shit. It was like I'm gonna say 2010.
2010.
Yeah,
About 15
2010.
years.
Yeah. Met him through a mutual friend.
Mm-hmm.
Went to his Tony Hawk music video.
Oh
shoot.
wow, that's a long time ago. Yeah. Wow, Tony Hawk.
At my boy Wayne's house. White boy Wayne. That was a hell of a party, bro. That shit was wild. But yeah.
So that's where y'all met, and y'all just been rocking ever since.
Been rocking ever since.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my little brother.
I met Dre when I was like 15. So.
Right.
What else?
He a good guy.
Pick me up. I snuck out the house to go party with him. He's a little bit older than me. Which, you know what I'm saying? I've been rocking with him ever since.
That part.
I noticed a lot of music I work with you on, and a lot of that you drop. You got the this DJ AR-15. That's your DJ, which is your son.
That's my son. That's my
Um,
man right there.
so how did you come up with the idea to make your son your DJ? And does he get does DJ R15 get a lot of say so in the music and with the
I run
critiquing and
everything
stuff?
by him first.
Yeah, okay.
I
I want
run
that's what I was
everything
gonna
by
ask.
him first.
How did you come up with the idea of like making your son your DJ?
Well, he he always had an opinion about, you know what I'm saying, my music and stuff. So I
Hmm.
figured put him on the fucking payroll,
Right.
you know. And coming from a place of I'm a third generation business owner, so it's only natural that I set up something for him to have some generational wealth. And I figured what better way than to make him my producer, my DJ, you know. That way he can eat too.
Right.
By the time he get to be 18 years old or whatever, he ain't gonna have to go through the shit I went through.
Does he there's there song obviously he's probably one of your biggest fans, but is there songs that he critique and be like he don't like or he
Oh
does
yeah, definitely,
does
definitely,
he
definitely. He shoots shit down all the
he
time.
shuts it down all the time?
Sometimes I had to override
Like you
him.
tripping, huh?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
But you know, I trust his opinion.
Okay.
He think he a YN, but he ain't.
So I know I'm going back. I'm going back to the to that date, that tragic date where you got hit on the bike.
uh,
So did you did that lady? Did you ever talk to her, or did you get to see her, or did she say anything to you?
wild as shit. She lived right around the corner from where I lived at that point in time.
Wow,
I could see her fucking house from my daughter's bedroom window.
wow, that's
I
wild.
always thought like, man, I'm gonna go over there and say something to her, but I digress. What's that gonna get me?
Well, that's well. Also, my next question was getting to like now you have an opportunity not to say it to her like physically, but if you did say something to her, what would the conversation be like to her? Like what would you say to her?
Number one, it was never between me and her. It's
Uh huh.
between her and God.
Hmm.
So I'm not the person she got to answer to. That's gonna work itself out.
So after that happened, you never talked to her again or
For
nothing.
what?
She never even
For what,
didn't even
man?
say sorry.
Nah, she hit me and ran. She kept
It
going.
was a hit and run.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow. So yeah,
yeah.
I see why you saying she got to
She
answer.
drove off with my foot in her car.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Wicked, yo.
yeah, wild shit, bro.
Oh man. I guess you got bygones be bygones, huh?
Yeah, man.
I didn't know
You
it was a
know,
hit or run
yeah,
situation.
yeah.
Damn. Um.
Ain't nothing to gain from being upset.
Yeah.
All you gonna do is crash the fuck out.
Oh my God, that was crazy. So, oh man, I can't believe, I didn't know that was a hit and run
Yeah,
situation. That's even worse.
it's all good though.
Hopefully she sees this or whatever. Uh, but if not,
You know, God got me.
some somehow, some way, you're gonna get your due diligence to
Yeah,
do this music.
watch this album go gold.
Yeah. Oh man, I was want to ask you also, but I mean, I don't want to say it like that, but I'm like going into the same question, like when you got hit in the head, like I don't,
Yeah.
I know you probably allegedly didn't see who did it, but if you did, what would you say to him, or her, or it?
Uh, well, I can't confirm or deny that person is here or not.
Hmm.
So you know, things happen. Accidents happen.
Oh my God.
Accidents happen.
Uh, do you ever feel anger or not just pain, but like anger? Do you ever have days where you wake up and you just feel like shit because you be like, yo, like why this happened to me? Or how do you go about your day of just making it better? Or you meditate, or what does Flip do to kind of like smoothing out his day and to make the situation, I guess, more of a breeze? What does Flip? I mean, what does the Wolf
Well,
Jackal do?
first off, I'd understand. I'm the lightning rod. A lightning rod is put there to absorb all the negative and the detrimental and all the bullshit that can harm and that would harm and decimate
Right.
whatever it's protecting. Because the lightning rod can withstand the violence.
Right.
So first I had to understand that because the shit I've lived through, I got a lot of folks that been through the same shit and they ain't here no more. So,
Right.
you know, I don't internalize it. I don't get angry. I just understand it. It's all relative. It's all about perspective. You know, I study quantum physics and theoretical physics and mathematics and Higgs boson particles and quantum entanglement and fucking computer science and shit like that. So I already understand how this shit works. It's a fucking simulation to begin with, so it's all a game.
Well, before we get up out of here, I just wanted to put my final thoughts were I just felt like it was important to bring you, and I definitely think we need because we're to tell your life story. We're gonna need a part one, part
Yeah.
two, part three. So
Oh
this is definitely gonna
God,
be part one. You know,
God,
because we can't do everything, but I definitely want to have you back and do a part two and part three because I so many more stories we have.
right.
But my final thoughts, I want to have you as my guest number 4 for the reason that you know, I just feel like you motivate people the way you walk around. You're energetic. I just like I said, I just like I don't even know you lost your leg when I kick with you.
Yeah,
You're so
right.
energetic and so you know, turned up in this so to speak. And you're a motivator. You're a great artist, great friend, fucking crazy ass motherfucker. But
Yeah,
I think
appreciate
people
that,
need to
man.
know, hear your story, and then maybe want to check in more to you know, into your music and your lifestyle because
Right.
you know, you're someone that people need to see because not everyone's like you. Somebody's going through this process and they're not feeling how you feel, which is probably wasn't easy, but you make it seem easy. And when someone sees this, it might make their day better or it
Much
might give them a better
appreciated.
you know,
Much
give them some
appreciated.
more motivation to you know to be like, hey, it
Right.
flips like this. You know, I lost my arm, but you know what? Fuck it. I got someone like Flip, and I'm gonna act like Flip. So I really want to have you as a guest so we can spread awareness and spread love to people who's probably going through the situations you're going through, who might be might cause them depression,
Right.
they might want
Right.
to do harmful
Right.
things to themselves or they
Right.
think lower themselves, and that's not the case when I come around you. I don't even think about none of that type of stuff with you.
Shit,
It's
I
like,
drink to that.
yeah, man. So that's why I wanted to have you on my show, and as a survivor amputee, and also this guy died and came back to life. So before we get out of here, is there anything you want to tell your listeners and the streamers and people that goes through those kind of things? Also, link anywhere they can find you, and where they can find the music, and we go from there.
uh, let me leave y'all with this. I always say complex problems require advanced solutions. So, you know, think, use what God gave you. Get 2 ears, one mouth. Maybe listen more and talk less.
Hmm.
You know, uh, maybe believe in yourself, even if nobody else does. Believe in yourself because at the end of the day, you are not this entity that you walk around as. You are not this physical body. You are an eternal being.
Right.
So once you realize that, you can transcend the realm of and the constraints that are placed on you by this cruel, wicked world. Understand you're a God. We're all God. We're God's children.
Right.
Act like a God. Be treated like one. That's all I got to say.
It's fair enough. And where could they? We'll put under the tag under there, but where can they find you at if they were looking for? If someone did want to DM or ask, hey, I like your show, or hey, Flip, I want to ask you a couple questions. I need your help. Can you send me some words of wisdom
I
or?
mean, look hard enough, you'll find me. Just look hard enough. If it was meant to be, you we'll link up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when is the project gonna be done? I mean, as far as I know, it's done, but when we dropping it?
Project is done. Probably dropping. What's this? What's this, June?
Yeah, next month will be in July. Almost in
I'm
July.
probably gonna drop it. Probably drop it July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's dropping on firework day.
Right. So they don't know the difference between the gunshots and the fireworks.
Well, I thank you for stopping by. This is
It was my pleasure.
been an
fam.
amazing conversation, and I think I do need to do a part 2, part 3 because there's
Oh,
so
yeah,
much more
yeah.
to cover. But I'm
We
trying to do
we
much
just
in
scratching the surface.
yeah, man. I try to do so much more. Well, I mean, so much in 10, 12 questions. It's I can't do it. Yeah, man. So thank you for stopping by. Arion Mosley podcast.
Peace,
Be on
love,
the
and light.
lookout. Yes, love, blessings. We out.